a very brief PowerPoint presentation, but since the difficulty with technology, I'll give you guys the basic rundown. It won't be as long as my previous presentation. For those of you who don't know, my name is Dorsey. I'm the Executive Director of Nevada State College Scorpions Cannabis Awareness Network. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on. First, I'd like to say a huge thank you. We're so grateful to be here today, to be able to present in front of the entire Senate after the unanimous vote from the Clubs and Organizations Board not to approve our organization. So thank you for letting us be here to present. One of the things that our main goal is to get students into jobs after college. That's what the crux of our organization is about. All of the areas of study that Nevada State College offers for majors and minors, these are going to be industries that are going to be hiring here in the local community here in the near future. So that ranges from biology, chemistry, management, psychology, counseling, criminal justice, business administration, entrepreneurship, and the list goes on and on. Of course, nursing as well. We currently have two Scorpions working at a analytical medical marijuana testing laboratory. Kristen Rivas is a former student. She's a chemical analyst and a microbiologist at ACE Analytical. And another student that's currently enrolled at Nevada State, Jacob, he is also working at ACE Analytical. And we're testing for molds and E. coli and different metals in cannabis. On August 24th, the very first medical marijuana dispensary in Las Vegas opened up, and that was also the first day of class here. And that's where I began to, my executive officers and I began to, hatch this idea to create an awareness network. On the second week of class, the fourth Henderson dispensary was approved, and that's when we began to get our mission objectives together and get together some of our governing documents and mission statement and whatnot. Shortly after that, I went to meet with the state of Nevada Department of Agriculture and learn about some of the pesticides. There was originally 80 pesticides that were banned from use, and they dropped it down to 20. So I was meeting with the Department of Agriculture to find out why those 60 other pesticides were erased from the banned pesticide list. On September 10th, we met with the Executive Director of Las Vegas NORML. NORML is the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana. They've been around since the 1970s. They have college chapters throughout the nation. And so they gave us a lot of literature to pass out and began to help educating us on some of the things that's going on. We also visited the offices of Elevate Nevada, which is a medical marijuana magazine, and they offered one of our students a possible internship in the spring. They are a product of FIND, the agency, which is a PR firm here in Las Vegas. So you can get one of our students into that.
Could you give a brief description on the club itself?
That's what I'm trying to see, like what we've been doing, basically.
Just the club and what the club will consist of. Like what you guys are planning to do.
Okay, well, we're planning on touring laboratories. This is our Director of Biological Sciences here, Hunter, and we went to go visit MM Lab yesterday. Regent James Dean Levitt, who is also the president of the Nevada Cannabis Laboratory Association, gave us a personal invitation during the State of the Cannabis address, and we were able to bring 8 students out. 6 of them were from Nevada State College, Scorpions Can, and one of them was from Coyotes Can, and one of them was from Rebels Can. These are other organizations that are starting up on other campuses. And so we went to speak with the scientists. They talked about their extensive backgrounds and PhDs and everything like that. So those are the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be visiting local businesses. We're going to be speaking with nurses, lawyers, doctors, law enforcement, and we're going to be finding out everything that we can because we want to be a resource to students and faculty at Nevada State College for this new, developing, emerging market here in our local community.
All right. Thank you. Senator Cortez Lopez?
Okay, I just want to go on record that I think like the internship and the medical research aspect of your club is great. I think it's great academically for the students and things like that. And my question was more for council because I know that when we last met, we spoke about some of the issues that I had with the club. Well, not necessarily on your mission, but with the procedure that they went through with advertising the club. And I wanted to know what it is that you found out of that.
national website, click on Nevada, you will see that our chapter has been established here in Nevada State. Yes.
I think the easy answer is even if they're not an organization yet previously, they would still have to comply with the general policies and regulations of NG and NSC. Once they are an organization, then if they don't comply with certain requirements or regulations of either NG or NSC, then there's certain action that you can take against their charter, revocation, disciplinary measures at that point. But it's really, what you're talking about is really policy driven, and these are just policy enforcement as they would apply to any student.
Well, I just want to go on record that I support the club as long as it's for the research and the internship and providing students with those resources. That's great.
Okay, is there?
I would say, we just did tour this lab yesterday, and this was the first opportunity I had out of the 4 tours I think that we have planned, and I already got offered one internship possibility. So, and I just want more talk to the guys, tell them about previous undergrad research I've done. I already have one opportunity for internship after I get my degree next year.
Thank you. Senator Sanchez?
I was just a little confused because the first time we denied him, first the speech was completely different. He didn't give us all this information. The first time, and a lot of the things that we had trouble with, and we had easy fixes for him to just add a few things to his bylaws on his members to make sure his members weren't using any of this marijuana and what actions would be taken if they were found. But he pretty much he wasn't too in favor of changing his bylaws, and that's just some of the things. Well, our board wants to tell you guys on why we denied him the first time.
And just to make a comment,
Could you still have the floor, Senator Sanchez?
Yeah, that's just, I don't know if any other senators want to add anything.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Senator Montanez?
And I also really like, the internship and all the stuff that your club is now doing versus what it was doing when it went to avoiding clubs and orgs. And I think it would be a good opportunity. But I do want to mention, and this is, it's not, okay, so this is just to I just want to mention this to make sure that everyone's aware of the leadership of the club. Back in the Scorpions Colony, the motion was for that event was to pass that event with the condition that only established clubs would be participating in the Scorpions Colony event. But when it came to the actual event, their organization just came in and kind of ambushed one of the tables there, and it was either up to me to tell them to go home or not. Obviously, I didn't want to tell them to go home after they brought all their stuff and they got over here, but it was still not, it wasn't supposed to happen. And like I said, I do like the club, I like what they stand for, I like what they're doing, with the actual club, but I just want to put that out there.
Thank you. Chair DaCosta?
This question is for Senator Montanez. So when you were actually at the Scorpions Colony event and you saw them tabling, and being that you didn't tell them to leave, were you in fact telling them that it was okay for them to stay?
Well, no, they didn't actually start tabling. Like, they came into the actual table, and then I went, and then I was called, I think, by Abby or somebody told me to go up to them, right, because they just came in. And so they were setting up their stuff, and they asked me. So yes, I am saying that I did let them stay. That's what I'm saying that. But it was because, I know I could have said no, but it was just, I wasn't going to tell them to go home when they already had their stuff. But they did come, and they weren't allowed to. So.
Thank you. Dr. Yap?
A few things. One, I want to echo our legal counsel, Mr. Martinez's feedback on the process has to be about the application materials and governing documents. That's what dictates that. So we have to adhere to those criteria. Number two, whether or not you agree with it or not, this is a First Amendment issue. Just because you disagree with something doesn't mean that they don't have the right to promote research and promote legislation that they see fit. It is a First Amendment issue, and I feel very strongly about that. And number three, regarding the event that did happen prior to this vote, if there are some concerns about whether or not they were violating policy or procedures regarding associating themselves with the United States College, that would be an enforcement issue, and not necessarily involved with this vote, because the vote is about the governing documents and the application materials as submitted.
Thank you. Senator Barber?
Senator Sanchez said that there were issues with the bylaws, and that was one of the reasons that they were not approved at clubs and orgs. So being that governing documents is part of our purview, what were the issues with the bylaws and have they been corrected?
Would the chair of Open Recs care to answer that question?
They wanted to ensure, the board wanted to ensure that this potential club would police themselves if any member was caught on campus smoking marijuana, consuming marijuana in any way, and if they would report them to police unbiasedly.
Thank you. Senator Mengiba?
Also, we found that their club fee was $4.20, and we didn't find this very, like, logically no one would add cents to their club fee. So we just find this to be unprofessional, and
Senator Goff?
The only issue with that, I understand completely, but what legal counsel is saying is basically we can't say no to them unless something is wrong with their.
right, yeah, I just wanted to
Okay.
Vice President Abdullah?
So under our Constitution, Article 14BD says, for good cause, the NSA may revoke chartering upon approval by a majority vote of the joint board meeting as recommended by the clubs and organizations board. Duval, the current constitution that we follow was actually created by your administration. So I wanted to get your interpretation of what good cause is.
I wasn't part of the constitution before.
Did you not vote on it within joint board?
If I did, it was several years ago. I don't know.
You can't answer to the question then?
What is the question?
What is your interpretation of good cause?
Good cause?
Good cause.
Well, I think good cause would be helping students find jobs after college, providing them internship opportunities even while in college, bringing good to the reputation of the school. These are some of my personal things I think would be good cause. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sergio?
Good cause in that context is more of a legal term. It normally is referring to violation of a policy, violation of student conduct, something along those lines. So if we were to move forward and revoke a charter, good cause would be some violation that you pointed.
Can I ask a question? So violation of policies. If there is a group of students that have been using Nevada State College logo and mottos without being chartered, would that be a violation?
Yeah, if it's without being chartered.
Without being chartered.
Policies. If there's an NSC policy, see, that wouldn't really be in the purview of this board. That would be an NSC policy. So if there's an NSC policy, that there's a certain procedure that you go through before using the NSC logo or motto, then that's an NSC issue. They would have to follow those policies.
From, if memory serves me right, I believe, and under the clubs and orgs bylaws, it states that anything within social media is under NSSA mandate.
Right. Not necessarily the copyright or trademark issues.
Okay.
Those are with the college.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. The bylaws does set out certain things in there. But it doesn't. Good cause doesn't stop there. It's
Okay.
violations in the NSC code, NSC code, state law, federal law. It's pretty expansive because the bylaws. I think it was the club norms bylaws say you got to comply with NSC policy. NSC policy points to NSC code. NSC code points to all federal, state, and local laws. So the violations are across the board.
Okay.
They all kind of relate back. So any violation of any of those,
Okay.
from policy to federal law, would be a good cause violation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Damiano?
Thank you. I think the club has good intentions, and you guys really need to realize that this is going to be an emerging industry. It's going to be huge, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities for our graduating students, especially in the sciences program. So if they're going to get opportunities for internship, then why would you want to deny that?
Thank you. Is there any more questions or discussion? Senator
I'm in support of recreational marijuana and medical marijuana. I think having a club in this school would be great. It's going to make history within our system. I do want to voice concerns from the board that they feel the leadership in the club is not going about it the right way. And I think that's where some concerns. Ultimately, the topic and issue, I personally support it. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's just be very cautious of how you conduct yourself on campus here. You're representing Nevada State College, and I know some people don't think kindly when they think of marijuana, you know? So I think we should try to evolve, and we should try to break that barrier and continue. But at the same time, we need to conduct ourselves professionally. And if this club is going to be chartered, then I would like the leadership to conduct themselves professionally, as other clubs do. So that's the only thing I would voice.
Thank you. Senator Parker?
Clubs and Orgs, have they met all of the requirements that they need to meet to be non-public?
Yes.
That's my only question.
Thank you. Senator Chapman?
Did you guys change your bylaws in order to address this, if there is any illegal recreational use of marijuana? Is that something that you guys would report to the correct authorities? Or?
Well, one of the things that we're going to do about that is we've already met with the police and had a sit-down meeting with the campus police, and also spoke with Lieutenant Green at the UNLV station. We're going to be working with them to speak with our members to educate us on the student code of conduct and the campus policies. Because once recreational gets voted past next year, we're going to have the same student code of conduct and campus policies in play at that time. So if we don't raise awareness now, this is a preemptive measure. So we're going to work with the police, bring them in. We've already been sharing all of our documents, our governing documents, and all of our promotional material with them. They're going to educate us, and we're going to educate our members. Because a lot of people don't know, if you do make this violation, you are jeopardizing your financial aid, and you can be kicked out of college. So yes, we're definitely going to take every measure to educate all of our members on the repercussions of bringing cannabis to campus.
All right. Senator Montan?
I make a motion to approve business item H, the joint board will deliberate and vote upon funding $800 to be taken from the club's notice line to recognize NSC Dreamers, Nevada State College Baseball, NSC Running Cross Country, and Nevada State College Cannabis Awareness Network as official clubs for the 2015-2016 academic year, each receiving $200.
Is there a second? Senator Campbell?
I second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Senator Mangulat,
Yay.
Senator Montanez,
Yay.
Senator Cortez Lopez,
Yay.
Senator Turbin,
Yay.
Senator Jeniana,
Yay.
Senator Chapman,
Yay.
Senator Mosley. Oh, sorry, Senator Sanchez,
Yay.
Senator Campos,
Yay.
Senator Parker,
Yay.
Senator Trejo, Senator Portillotin,
Yay.
Senator Cruz,
Yay.
Senator Barber,
Yay.
Secretary Phelps, yay, Chair Stamps,
Yay.
Chair DeCosta,
Yay.
Chair Wagner,
Yeah.
Vice President Osabella,
Yeah.
1900, motion passes.
All right, thank you. Moving on to business item I, the joint board will discuss and deliberate opportunities to create student housing and housing communities.
Are you going to concede to my point?
Please sit down, Miss Radcliffe.
What is it, Mr. Brooks?
Anybody can plainly see it's an ashtray.
Wrong. Anyone can plainly see it's a wall break.